welcome back to my channel. I can't believe that it's June already and you have survived or are really close to surviving this crazy whirlwind of a school year. You deserve a huge pat on the back for doing everything that you have in this crazy school year of 2020-2021. It's either over or it's so close to being over. Since it is June, I'm ready to bring you some read aloud books for this month. I know that some of you are already out of school, but I also know that quite a few of you are still in. I know around here in New England, my kids go until the end of June, so they still have a few weeks left. So I want to make sure that I'm still bringing you some great read alouds that you can use throughout the month if you're in school or if you have kids at home that you can read aloud to. But first, if you're new here, my name is Sarah. I show up every Sunday night on this YouTube channel with read aloud tips and book ideas that you can take into your classroom that week. I really love sharing my passion for books and how they can be used in so many different ways in the classroom. If this sounds like something you're interested in, give this video a thumbs up and then hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss a video. So let's jump right into our June read aloud books. First up, on June 3rd, we have Bicycle Day. So for this one, I pulled out A Bike Like Sergio's. In this book, Sergio and Ruben are good friends. Ruben feels like all the kids have bikes except for him. His friend Sergio keeps telling him, "Your birthday's coming up, ask for one for your birthday." But Ruben knows that his birthday is not the same as Sergio's. His family doesn't have as much money as his friend's family does. But then one day at the store, he notices a dollar bill fall out of a woman's purse. He picks it up and he takes it home. When he gets home, he realizes it's not a dollar bill, it's a $100 bill. That's plenty of money for him to buy a brand new bike. Throughout this story, we see Ruben struggle with doing what is right and what he wants to do. We see him deal with all of these uneasy feelings, figuring out that the right thing is always the right thing to do. A good one to share with your class on Bicycle Day on June 3rd. June 8th is National Best Friends Day, so I pulled out Stick and Stone. This is a very simple story with not a lot of words, but has a great message to it. Stick and Stone are sad and they're lonely all by themselves. But then one day, Stick rescues Stone from a prickly situation with a pine cone, and they become best friends after that. But when the tables are turned, can Stone help Stick in another difficult situation? Can he be as good of a friend as Stick was to him? You'll have to read it and find out. But in this story, we learn that friends who stick together rock. I think your students will really enjoy this one. Also on June 8th, we have World Oceans Day. So I pulled out this true story called The Brilliant Deep. This one is all about the ongoing efforts to save and rebuild the world's coral reefs beneath the ocean surface. It's the true story of coral restoration pioneer Ken Neddemeyer. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But this book has beautiful illustrations and a powerful message that all it takes is one person to make a big change in the world. This is a great book to read aloud in the month of June, especially as we're getting closer to summer and students are starting to visit the ocean, and learning about the ocean and how we can help it will make a huge impact on them. June 14th is Flag Day, so I pulled out The Flag We Love. This is a simple but informative book about the history of our nation's flag and how we honor it. Each page has a beautiful illustration along with a short poem, but then underneath each poem, it gives a lot of background information, so there's a lot that students can learn from this book. The Flag We Love is a great book to read aloud on Flag Day on June 14th. On June 19th, we celebrate Juneteenth. This is the day that freedom came to slaves in the South. And for this one, I have All Different Now. And this book is a beautiful celebration of freedom. It's a short, quiet story with a powerful message. The artistic interpretation, emotional words, and illustrations all come together for this very important day in the middle of June. And to help you out while you read aloud, there are notes from both the author and the illustrator at the back of the book, along with a timeline of important dates and a glossary of terms to help your students understand the significance of this important date. Definitely one to read aloud with your class. And then, even though it already feels like summer around here, June 21st is the first official day of summer. A great book for this day is And Then Comes Summer. This wonderful book is an ode to the changing of seasons and all of the excitement and fun things that the warm weather brings throughout the summer. A great one to get your students excited about summertime. On June 27th is Helen Keller Day. And one of my favorite authors to pull biographies from is Brad Meltzer. He has this wonderful series called Ordinary People Change the World, and I've talked about quite a few of his books in other videos that I've shared. But it's a great starting point for students when they are reading biographies. He makes them interesting and engaging. Not only is the story told in an interesting way for students, he makes it so easy for students to follow along with what's going on in the story. He tells the timeline of an important person's life, but has speech bubbles throughout that make it interesting for them to digest the information. So for Helen Keller Day, I suggest I Am Helen Keller. In this book, he's also included a Braille alphabet, so students can really explore that as well. There's also always a timeline of the person's life at the back of the book, so you can revisit that with your students after reading the story. I definitely recommend I Am Helen Keller for Helen Keller Day on June 27th. 2 days later, on June 29th, we have Hug Day. And I'm gonna flip the script on this one a little bit because not everybody likes hugs. So there's this brand new book that just came out, and you can tell that I'm doing a project with it, so be on the lookout for an interactive read aloud to go along with this one later on. But this one is called Don't Hug Doug. Even as adults, we just assume that everybody wants a hug, but not everyone feels comfortable with that. In the story, Doug explains that some people love hugs, some people don't like hugs, and some people are somewhere in between. So he talks about how he doesn't like hugs and how he interacts with other people and whether they like hugs or if they like hugs from certain people, they just don't like them at all. It's an important message to send to students that we need to always be aware of other people's personal space and that everyone should get to decide whether they want to be hugged or not. So he talks about if you're not sure if someone wants a hug, just ask them. So for Hug Day on June 29th, I suggest don't hug Doug. June is also Pride Month. And it's so important that we celebrate the LGBTQIA+ community. So I've chosen the book This Day in June. This book invites readers to join in a pride celebration. The short, poetic words and detailed illustrations are an excellent tool for teaching acceptance, respect, and understanding of this community. One thing I love about this book is even though the words on each page are very short, when you get to the back of the book, there's lots of back matter. It breaks down each page and shares the history or importance of anything that is happening on that page, either in the words or in the illustration. So it gives those students a lot of information in a way that they'll understand. And it also includes a guide to talking with children about the LGBT community and important terms and discussion topics for you to have with kids about it. I think this is a great one to share for Pride Month. And stay tuned for next week because I'm going to do a whole video all about books that you can share during the month of June to celebrate Pride. So whether you are still teaching in school or you are at home and you have kids around, I hope that you'll be able to share some of these great books with them for the month of June. If this video was helpful for you, always remember, give it a thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button below so that you don't miss out. I will be back next Sunday night with more read aloud tips and book ideas that you can use in your classroom. Have a great week.